So hi everybody. Today I'm being guided to talk about finding hope in challenging times. There aren't any more challenging times for many people than the holiday season, which we're just entering right here in the United States. So I'm Intuitive Coach Kevin. I assist people who are awakening to step back into their passion and power and purpose, let go of their challenges and their blocks that they received in childhood, and take that big step forward into the reason that they showed up on this planet, myself being one of them, of course. Well, holiday is a challenging time, of course. We have family, we have money, we have health issues all swirling about, and everything seems to be amplified, like we're in a little bit of a sort of an energetic fishbowl. And then we are in an energetic fishbowl in a sense, because we're interacting with more people. We're out shopping maybe, we have the family events or work events, so you're being exposed to more energy than you're used to maybe being exposed to. And a lot of us are not experienced in managing the vibration that we emanate that then reflects back the experiences we're having from them. And so we tend to go in maybe even with a little bit of dread about the situation that we're going to go into, and then suddenly it happens and things are even worse, and it just is a sort of a spiraling kind of experience. And it's only because we haven't learned to really effectively yet manage our vibrational output so that the reflection coming back is what we want it to be. So it's not that we're doing anything bad or wrong. It's just the nature of vibration is that which you vibrate, in other words, what you focus on and how it feels, is what the universe is picking up as a reflection to send back to you over time. It's not an instantaneous thing, but it just builds up over time. So finding hope is sometimes pretty challenging in those situations. So today I'm going to introduce the idea of pre-paving your energy, sending it out ahead of time so that you can engage the law of attraction to be on your side instead of beating you up, because it's a faithful servant no matter what energy you have, what energy you're sending out. It's either going to send back positive energy if you're feeling positive, or negative energy if you're feeling negative. There isn't you don't really have a way to change that except by changing your vibration. I like to say it's like going to the mirror and looking in the mirror and with a big frown on your face and expecting the mirror to start smiling, and just standing there with a big frown saying, I'm not going to change until you smile. You're going to be there to the end of time. We have to change the source in order for the reflection to change. And I had this vision come to me the other day about being inside one of those mirror balls, on the inside, and everywhere you look, there's you. And this is what physical reality is. It's an energy field at the quantum level that's not as solid as we think it is. It's just flowing energy. And so what we get back is always going to be an exact vibrational match to what we're sending out. And what we're sending out is where we get stuck. We don't realize that we're sending something out that maybe doesn't feel very good, but we're used to putting up with things that don't feel good. And so we keep focusing on the thing that doesn't feel good. Well, this is just what I do, it's what my family did, it's what we do, we're just negative people. Well, the universe doesn't care. It doesn't have a positive or negative experience, it just reflects. It's law of physics. It's vibrational cohesion or coherence. And so you have to be willing and able to move that vibration up. And it's not as hard as people think it is. I feel like I've got to make some effort to be positive. Well, it's actually the opposite. It's the effort that tends to hold you back, because you're focusing on what's not working, you're focusing on the struggle. So letting go tends to be an easier way to flow up the emotional scale, to move up. I know most of you who are reading this are familiar with the Abraham emotional scale. See if I can get it in there. Up at the top is where our inner being is, all of sources, and where we want to be, and typically more down at the bottom is where we are more realistically. And so the idea is we want to take this relief path over here, the green arrow, and slowly move up the scale. And so there's lots and lots of techniques we do. That's what I do with my clients. It's what we do in our groups. It's not hard, but it's sort of opposite of what we've been trained to do. It's ease and flow. It's relaxing. It's letting go of the oars and let the natural current, which is always moving in the positive direction, to take us in that direction. But it doesn't hurt to have some techniques to help kind of along the way. So it was a life experience that my wife Suzanne, who's also an intuitive coach, had with a client some time ago. We used to share this in our law of attraction workshops. that maybe will be helpful for you guys to relate to, particularly in this holiday season. There was a client she had who had a challenge with the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law was always criticizing her, putting her down in front of her son, the woman's husband, how she was raising her kids and all that. And she knew that the holidays were coming up, and boy, oh boy, it was going to be a challenging kind of situation. And so she was dreading that negative energy. And based on what we were just talking about, of course, she was going to pre-pave that outcome to turn into reality if she didn't do something about it. So Suzanne recommended that she create what's called a positive aspects list. And I know those of you who follow the Abraham teachings understand what that is, but I'll share a little bit about it here. And that comes from the book Ask and It Is Given, which is where that emotional scale comes from. There's 22 processes to move up the emotional scale. Well worth an investment. It's something we had in the early days. We've been doing this work about 15 or 16 years now, and really good book to have. Ask and It Is Given. So the positive aspects list works by helping pull you out of the situation where you're being kind of pulled into negative energy, whether it's with a person or maybe there's a job situation, finances, health. It doesn't really matter what the situation is. You can use this technique. So the idea is to pull yourself as much as you can out of the situation and observe sort of objectively. So what she did was did a positive aspects list about the mother-in-law. Well, you might think, well, there's nothing positive about this woman. I hate her, she hates me, and it's never going to work out. But if you become objective, pretend like you're a third person, then you can see things that are positive about any situation. You can find them. Maybe you don't want to, but you got to break your own negative energy loop. So as an example, well, what are some positive things about this woman? Now, I don't remember the whole list. Suzanne can probably share it at some point, but a couple of the big things were like, well, she's a positive dresser. She does take care of herself. You know, she cares about the way she looks and the way she comes across. Another thing was she's raised my husband. She was the mother of my husband, and I love him. And so she's got to have some of those aspects in her. And so as she went through this list, she began to realize, okay, well, there are some positive aspects of this person that maybe I'm not seeing because I'm blinded by my own negative energy. And so she wrote this list down. And then Suzanne suggested that she read the list every day. And when you do any kind of energy work like this, the first thing in the morning is the best time. Just going to bed at night is the next best time. And both are because you have the value of the sleep cycle, which interrupts the vibrational output. The reflections then slow down as a result of quieting the mind. So we want to put out then we want to start the process when we first wake up, when we've had this vibrational reset, to engage things like meditation, like a list of positive aspects, like a list of appreciation or feel good or breathing exercises. All of those benefit within the first minute of waking up before the brain gets active and starts sucking us down and law of attraction starts running on that. So that's a good time to do this. Notice a subtle difference between appreciation and positive aspects. So appreciation, as we mentioned here on the list, is way up at the top, right? It's the number one. All those 6 different emotions are actually the same frequency, meaning you're vibrating at the same. There's just different contexts for that same frequency. Well, if you're down there in fear or anger around somebody, the way they're treating you, you're not going to get to appreciation. But doing the positive aspects pulls you out of the emotional side. So you don't have to reach for appreciation. You don't even have to like the person. But you can find things that move your indicator dial up a bit by becoming circumspect. So just notice that that is a big difference. Well, so it turns out that after the holidays, she reported back to Suzanne that they had had the best conversation that they had ever had. They sat next to each other and they talked and talked and talked, and now they're good friends. And that was just one exercise. Changed a whole life experience with one person to a completely new experience. Just by the woman taking the time to change her vibration using one of these techniques. And then, of course, the mirror has to change. That is just physics. It's just how the law works. So note that the power of setting the expectations ahead of time is what everything is about here. The law of attraction is essentially 2 pieces. It's about the vibration you're at, and your emotions will tell you. And if you can't feel your emotions, that's some area to work on. I had took years for me to unnumb myself. Some people use alcohol and drugs. I used literally my mind to numb the emotional sensor. A lot of people do that, stuff down their emotions. I had to bring that back online. So setting the energy in motion ahead of time, law of attraction says, okay, what frequency are you on and how long have you been on that frequency? The longer you're on that frequency, the more it reflects it back. And so over 15 seconds it takes to bring that frequency back to you in terms of more thoughts that match the vibration you're sending out. And then beyond that, then about 60 seconds later or so, used to be 67 seconds for those who follow Abraham. It's reduced because we're speeding up as a species. Then physical things begin to change. Now the physical world will start to reflect the energy that we've been putting out. And the longer you keep that high vibration, then the faster physicality will shift and your whole universe will warp itself around you to match that new vibration you're setting out. And that includes removing people who simply can't keep up with your vibration. You got to let them go. But you'll find that other people who want to be on that same journey will track you, but you'll have a new experience. You'll meet them in a way that maybe you've never met them before. And like this woman did with her mother-in-law, suddenly she accessed another part of the mother-in-law that was not accessible because she changed her radio station. So now the mother-in-law who had that frequency in her could match. So only one of two things happens when it comes to a person. As you're doing this with your vibration, then the other person either has to come up for you to rendezvous or they are out of your life in those moments. Changes in each now moment, of course. You can have a bad day and then now you're a radio station for those people who are at that same low frequency. But you get to decide. So it's worth putting the effort in at the beginning of every day and see if you can't start shifting your average vibration. And this works with anything in your life. It's not just people. It works with health, it works with money, it works with career, it works with every single physical manifestation because they are all reflections of vibration. So consider a positive aspects list of your job or your body. If you got an illness, your illness that you may have, a sore throat or a bad back or whatever, if you think of that in relationship to the 50 trillion cells in whole that are in your body, 99.9% of the rest of your body is doing just fine. But what are you focused on? The thing that hurts. Right. And it's trying to get your attention, of course, but again, shifting the focus back to the body. What are the positive aspects of my body? And so you can make a list of all the things that the body is doing well in spite of this one condition, no matter how ill you are. So try it with whatever is the thing that's on your mind. You know what the challenges are in your life. Try the positive aspects list process and see what you can do. See if you can prove the power that is innate in this universe and at your fingertips to yourself. Just remember to do this soon. Now you've heard it, go do it. Practice it every day if you can. It only takes, 5 minutes to read the list? The important thing about reading the list, however, is to feel the emotion from each one of these positive entries, because it's the emotion that tells you the frequency that's going out. So take the time to feel the thing. And then watch what the universe delivers. You will blow your own mind as to how the synchronicities start to happen. And as long as you don't introduce too much doubt or you're going to fall off the train every once in a while and have a bad day, that's okay. Just let it go. Get back onto the train every day. Just remember that it takes some effort to rewrite those old beliefs, but it does not take long for the law of attraction to kick in and start supporting us in that energy field as opposed to the negative one, because it's always there. It's like gravity. You're never going to find a place where you're not experiencing gravity. The law of attraction is every place, but it's here to help as long as we leverage it. So I know you guys can do this, so why not make today the first day of this new empowered approach to life? Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm at intuitivecoachkevin.com, and of course here on Facebook. And you can reach out via Messenger, or and you can join our Lightworker Exchange group. That's also listed at the top of my profile. Anything we can do to support you and your ascension so you can be the best version, fill your own cup up, and then help others. That's why we're all here. We're all in this together, guys. So happy holidays and good luck with your new techniques. Bye for now.